Dark is the Night is a Russian World War II song composed and originally produced in 1943. And ever since then, it apparently has never really left the realm of popularity. I myself only stumbled over the song in about a year ago because of a meme, and ever since the song has left quite a remark for me. It has a very dark and gloomy nature that a lot of songs usually don't cover this well. But it's also relatively simple, and it has some certain type of beauty to it, and I'm drawn to this type of music. And I recently got back into learning piano, and I wanted to learn this song, and as I was playing it, I realized that one of the chords doesn't really make sense. And I very quickly figured out, oh, okay, I see what's going on here, but the theory, concepts that I could take from it are actually really valuable. And I want to share with you today what that exactly is. Let's jump over to the piano. All right, let's get a short overview of how the song is played. So we are in the key of E minor, and the way that I seem to play it is this inversion of the E minor. So E minor is here, we bring the E up, and the G becomes a root. So it's this chord, followed by this chord, and then followed by this chord. And the E minor is being repeated twice in the beginning, so it's... we go up here, and B. And as I was playing it, I was thinking, okay, what makes it so dark? And the first natural thing we're going to talk about is the second chord, which is this one. F sharp, A, and C, which is a diminished triad because we have basically a minor third up from F sharp and another minor third up from A, which is the C. And that gives a very unresolute feeling because this one kind of wants to resolve up here into major, maybe. I don't know, that's what I'm hearing at least in this specific combination. And this one, C, wants to resolute to its perfect fifth of the F sharp. You can hear how much better that sounds. So that pulls it there. But we pushed it down so it sounds a lot darker, and since the notes are closer together, there's a lot more rub in between the notes, which makes it sound a lot more dire. Like it sounds very stressful. And then the last chord is this, a B major. Really happy chord, but with everything together, it kind of doesn't really sound so happy. And I was thinking, why is that? And then I realized, oh, it's this note. It's the E flat. E flat is not in the E minor scale. All the other chords so far, E minor, obviously, is in the E minor scale. This one, also in the E minor scale, because... yeah. But the B major has a B flat, has a E flat in it. And that E flat is not in there. And that makes it an E harmonic minor. And if you know the difference between harmonic minor and normal minors, you know that the harmonic minor sounds a lot darker. Because of this borrowed note from basically the major scale of its respective root note. And that is usually nowadays used in metal a lot, which is probably why I was drawn to the song in the first place. So I figured out the first part of like, okay, we delve into an E harmonic minor at the end. But since it's a major chord, it sounds kind of pleasant, but at the same time, it just kind of goes... there's like this push and pull between both. It just adds a certain type of spiciness. If we took a chord now in here that actually fit within the key, so for example B minor, which would fit within the key, It would also work, kind of. We're obviously not used to hearing it right now like this because we heard the normal song, but it also sounds like very boring. It sounds very straightforward, like a lot of typical pop songs are written, you know? And this little change at the end really makes it what it is. And now another thing that is a really cool theory about this is you play E in the beginning. Your chord hand also plays E. We play G, we stick with E. We move up to the G flat or F sharp, and we switch our chord to resemble that. Now it's the diminished one, the one that sounds really like it's clashing a lot, but all the notes are still perfectly within the E minor key. And then as soon as we play B, which is the perfect fifth of E, we play this B major. And what that does is it's subverting our expectations, because we're expecting to hear everything to be within E minor, because that's what we're also used to listening to, the normal minor scale. But then we get this E flat in here, and E flat really strongly wants to go back to E. And it's such a smart ending also for a chord progression, because every note in here kind of wants to resolute back to its home base. B is already in the E minor chord. This one wants to go back to E, the E flat, and this one wants to resolve up to G. And when I play these two together like this, it really sounds like one goes smoothly into the other and the tension is resolved. Just that the tension is resolved in the beginning of the beat, basically, at the end of the loop. So to summarize, and what that allows you to do is you can control where the emotional shift of the song goes to. If you want to make a song go from dark to more emotional, you can start in the E harmonic minor, somewhere in this key, and then resolute it back to this key. That gives you a very big leverage on how you control the emotional flow. Obviously, that's not the only thing, but that's one of the most powerful things, I think, and it's criminally underused. And it also adds a lot of epicness, it adds a lot of depth, and also it sounds like you know what you're doing, which is really cool. It's a really cool trick that I like to do. So yeah, I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.